I approached my 25th college reunion last week with an advanced degree of dread. For 4 years at Harvard, I'd masqueraded as an adult while feeling like a child. It was an experience I wasn't eager to recall. It took just a few conversations with my equally nervous classmates that first night to realize we'd all felt pretty much the same, intimidated by Harvard and isolated from each other. With an enormous sigh of relief, we dropped the past and at long last extended each other the welcome we'd never had. Someone joked that, like all 25th reunion classes, we were really a creation of the development office of Harvard University, which had every intention of converting our newfound warmth for each other into huge donations to the university. There was no denying it, Harvard was treating us to the time of our lives. You reached out your hand and someone put a drink in it. You grew numb over lunch and the band magically appeared to rekindle your spirit. You rode at dawn with old crewmates and danced till the stars winked out with new friends and old flames. I had a regular job in town, and as I'd go back and forth from the campus during that week, I'd marvel at how flat and two-dimensional the rest of my life looked in comparison. What a wonderful world it could be, I'd think, if we all had a $2 billion endowment to help us realize how much we had in common. The final event of the reunion was a seminar on Vietnam. Not a debate on the issues, but an invitation to speak about its impact on our lives. Over 300 people crowded the lecture hall. One by one, more than a dozen of us recalled the war we had fought or fled from, protested or watched on TV, the marriages we had made early because of it, or the children we had had sooner than planned, or the lives we'd seen it take. Then, one man I'd never seen before marched to the head of the class and stood in front of us, shaking. I'd been agonizing all week about whether I'd say anything, he said, and my wife told me she'd divorce me if I did. But I gotta tell you, I was in the Air Force in Vietnam, and I fought the war from the sky. And every day we'd drop our bombs, and every day if we had any left, we'd bomb the elephants on our way back. And every night we'd get drunk, and every night we'd go to the whores in Saigon, and I gotta tell you, it was fun. For me, the war was the highest and most exciting point in my life, and nothing I've done since has come close. And I've got to live with that. But that's the truth. Many of us rose to speak after him with an intensity 10 times greater than before. For the first time, it seemed, we wanted to reach each other not just as members of a class, but of one more generation that had waged a war. How many times had Harvard told us that those who didn't understand the lessons of history were condemned to repeat them? But when had it ever said that real understanding never came until after the deed was done, again and again and again? We left the room silently in honor of the members of the class who never made it back. I went to the freshman union for our final get-together, but most of the class had already left. The chairs inside the union were stacked on the tables. The tents and canopies had been taken down. Just an aluminum bowl full of potato chips remained, bordered by a row of cans of Diet Coke. Clearly, the university's attention was somewhere else now, possibly on the class of 1967 and the experience it would arrange for them. I wondered what 25 years would do to change their vision of the institution and themselves. I took one last look at Harvard and left, far more tolerant than I ever would have thought of what it really takes to educate a human being.